package inbound.
The palm tree was definitely an experience, but it's one I wouldn't trade for the world. And once I learned that I could understand his actions, why he was doing the things he was doing, I started, trying to step in his shoes and see things from his perspective, not mine. I opened my mind to see his perspective. I was able to change the story I was telling myself. The mind is an amazing thing. It's got the power to create states that literally affect the body in negative and positive ways. And think about it, if negative thoughts and fears can cause angry outbursts, you'd be irritable, hypervigilant, depressed. Just imagine what positive thoughts can do. I mean, it is common and it is so easy to start, blaming your spouse or to become the victim. But it is so much more productive to take an honest look at issues and learn how to create a healthy environment. If you get fixated on the reactivity of the person with PTSD, you're setting yourself up almost to be miserable. It's much more productive to view PTSD as a family issue, one that both of you can be managed and learn to live with and still have a happy, healthy life. But to do this, you have to change your story. You have to change the way that you look at things. You can be sad and depressed and get stuck in this, I just want my husband back. Or you can accept who they are, love them for who they are, and move forward. It's not easy, and it doesn't mean that I don't get upset or I just was able to immediately, turn off the feelings of mourning what I had lost and things that I wouldn't be able to do. But I mourned them, I grieved them, and I let them go. Because ultimately, what I kept in my mind, my goal, was always my marriage. That was my ultimate goal. And so I would do things like, I don't get all sideways about Valentine's Day and anniversaries and things like that. I understand that he has a hard time out in crowds. So we either make plans where it's earlier or later where we miss the crowd, or I am just as content staying home. And how I did this, how I started changing my beliefs was, I basically had this table, I had 5 columns. The first one was upsetting event. The second was, what does that event make me believe? The third is, what is the emotional toll of me having this belief? 4 is, where I challenged what I believed. And number 5 is where I changed my story. So let's take an anniversary as an example. So underneath the upsetting event, I would write, just the facts, just the whatever it was that upset me. Anniversary dinner. What does that make me believe? That PTSD has ruined my life and I will never be happy because I am sacrificing my wants. The emotional toll that having this belief is taking. I am mad at my spouse for his injury. I'm lashing out at him. I cried and yelled at my spouse and I was depressed. So then I challenged what I believed, does this really describe our marriage? Am I really that miserable? Is my personal happiness more important than the we? And then I changed my story. My spouse and I are still together. Fancy dinner or night on in town isn't as important as getting to enjoy my time with my spouse. I get giddy over chicken nuggets and watching TV with him just because we're together and I enjoy that time and I appreciate that. So anytime I have something where I'm struggling with a belief that I need to change the story, I turn to this table. That helps me keep myself in a positive mindset. It helps me keep my focus on the we. I mean, yeah, I've had to give up some dreams. I don't do some of the things that I would like to do because it's more important for me that we as a family are together. I mean, it's not the life that I chose. It's not the life that I expected. It was not in my plan. But that's okay. It's not what I expected it to be. But I can't say that it's any worse. It's just a different kind of better than I was expecting.